troops and be ready to attack the side. It looks like once again the side will change hands, which is going to be one too many. Furthermore, it's time, using the Black Sea Fleet, hunt down Bactria's remaining forces on the Black Sea. As you can see, one of their fleets will no longer be of any trouble for us. Furthermore, we're going to row fast and move close to our settlement. If they attack us, we will certainly be prepared, because the local garrison will support us, no doubts about it. These ships right here are almost empty. They have many ships, but those ships are nearly completely empty. Furthermore, our forces here have garrisons too, so we should be just fine. Besides, I've just realized that these ships are so empty. It wouldn't be a problem if my army from the city would use the ships in and out that are coming around the Black Sea to just sail onto them and attack. Now, I've just noticed that they would retreat, however, this won't help them. As you can see, another force of theirs will be completely annihilated now. A truly easy victory for us, and this undoubtedly gives us necessary advantage. Look at that. A dread reputation gives a strength of 20 armies. This general is so dreadful that it will make enemies' forces to lose morale by 20%. That is incredible indeed. I've just noticed that he can have one of the household members assigned to him, and I'm going to increase the melee of all sword units. So this means that this leader right here is truly significant leader. Besides that, we'll be able to move on to our army group here and it means that this force out here is completely ready. And the navy will further hunt Bactrians. Before we move any further, we only have to deal with our Hodians. It's only a matter of time before we end up in a complete peace just before we start a new major war. Look at that, Axum has 4 armies. It looks like they are extremely rich.
I am told our treasuries lack a sum of gold. Perhaps you might feel the urge to remedy that lack.
Very smart for our holders to do this, however, we're not going to agree.
I spoke with honesty, and this refusal is my payment. Such is the will of the gods.
We are going to annihilate them once and for all. Obviously, if their own agents won't disrupt. Offensive. Okay, in here there's an interesting one. Their forces versus mine. An interesting proposition. You know what? Due to their general unit, they seem to be extremely potent. They have one better infantry unit than mine, and one extra. Slinger unit, a unit that I do not have. For this reason, I'm going to try this out. I don't think that I can win, especially if these are phalanx formations. If these are phalanx formations, there's absolutely no way we can do this. Let's see what we have here. Now these are just heavy hoplites. And very heavy hoplites, which is fine. Surprisingly, how this is extremely tough here. What can we do here? What can we do? It looks like it would be a good opportunity for us to try and kill off some of their forces here that have separated from the main echelon. And I'm talking about these two right here. If we could effectively engage these before the rest of the troops show up, it could be that we would be
We have discovered the enemy's hidden units.
in the advantage that we actually want. Furthermore, I shouldn't use all of my soldiers. Some of these need to move around and engage their skirmish units right here. Just like that. Two of my units engage theirs, and then one of mine chasing off their skirmishers. Now notice that I won't be able to catch up with the skirmishers, but I can perfectly surround this unit right here. And as you can see, this gives me an opportunity to break them. I ran them in, and I hope that this will make our audience to run. Now I see where the rest of their troops are coming from, and it looks like they're sending an extra brigade, but before this one has fallen, No more my troops can actually be spared. Finally, now that their troops are dwindling and have broken, we can very effectively move my forces into a position from which we can attack them further. Now, surprisingly, these soldiers right here will try to run away. Now, they will be running away, but I hope to surround them. They ended up in a fight. As you can see, we are engaging them, but I suspect that very soon we will be able to surround them and get rid of them. It looks like their soldiers are not being led effectively, and due to that we're able to get rid of them. Their heavy hoplites here are not engaging my troops, which gives me an opportunity Okay, they need to attack their slingers, no doubts about it, otherwise it's going to be bad. Furthermore, my troops here need to throw the javelins and attack the hoplites. As you can see in here, we are starting to attack them. However, unsurprisingly, they, while being supported by all of these skirmish units, slingers will be devastating my lines a little too effectively. I need to attack their skirmishers, otherwise there's absolutely no chance. However, my soldiers cannot win against these heavy hoplites. They know very well what's coming for them, and it looks like that's going to be it. Now we have this fight right here where our Iberian skirmishers are fighting Rhodian slingers. An interesting engagement. Surprisingly, it gives us a good look at how well a nation such as Rhodis, focused on military, can deal enormous damage on us in the region of Turkey there. No doubts about it. It's time for us to move on and try to further reduce the numbers. We can't win a skirmish fight. We have to just end this. Their numbers are way too small for anything. But if these two turn around, they do stand a chance against us. In this case, it looks like they're going to support this attack. Done. We're surrounded, and it looks like we're going to die. Done. It was a good fight, I liked it. But we lacked the infantry that could offer the stopping power to deal with their heavy hoplites. Besides, there was no way we could get rid of all that slinger fire. Construction report. Character trade report. Settlement lost. Province contested. Army destroyed. And more ships. Good. Surprisingly enough, they moved their entire army into the fleet.
Ready for orders.
Very unexpected indeed. Let's see what can be done here. Surprisingly, I can get rid of another force of theirs. If they do not escape, but it looks like this time they will certainly get away.
The sea beckons. Ready for battle.
First things first, I'm going to get rid of our Hodians. Bactrians. Lusitani Tribal Council. They're still out there, which surprises me a little bit. They just do not disintegrate. They're raiding and still suffering attrition, but it's not over yet. And that just prolongs everything. Here, it's time to attack this. If I win this, which isn't doubtful, then they won't have an army. They probably thought that they're going to sail out and survive, but surprisingly for them, we decided to just move on them. Okay, it looks like these ships right here are filled with soldiers, which simply means that their brigades won't be smaller. I didn't know that could happen myself. I thought that if an army ends up on a ship, their numbers will be reduced significantly. However, only Navy units are reduced significantly and not armies that have boarded the ships. This is the first engagement of the day. We caught up with one of their cavalry brigades here. It looks like this army right here won't escape anywhere, which certainly isn't bad. These forces could potentially establish themselves a foothold, but I'm afraid that all of these skirmishers of theirs will just be blasting my soldiers.
We'll kill them all.
In any case, we'll see how exactly that's going to take shape.